In this episode, Tesla prices drop again, Alfa Romeo's new flagship, and a track-only Maserati. Welcome to episode 263 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, is there anything new?
Well, I did hear of a new car.
A new car?
Yeah, it's a car that I've never heard of before.
What might that be?
It's a Mazda Miata.
Miati, not Miata. Who said this?
This would be my, well, should I say? My mother-in-law.
Oh, this is a family member.
Yes.
Ah.
I love her to death, but she may have fumbled on her words a couple times.
It's a girl's car.
It is, but it's not a Miata. My wife told me about this, and I immediately went, what?
I've never heard it referenced like that.
No, I think it was just a faux pas.
I think you might be right.
It was just a fumble.
But for the ladies out there that have them, would it be okay to call it a Miati?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not a Miata. There's no... the last letter in it is an A. You got to put a Y on it then.
Girls give names to their cars. Guys don't do this. I don't know why girls do this. And it's always the opposite gender, in air quotes, from the vehicle that they're driving.
So a truck is a girl.
Uh-huh.
And a Miata is a dude.
I think so.
Ah, okay.
I think so. Kind of weird.
Why do girls name their cars?
I don't know.
Hi, this is Charles. He's a Toyota Echo. Hello, Charles.
And they're not like names that you would expect for the vehicle. They're just
Names.
pulled out of a hat name. Just insert name here.
Hello, Jonathan.
It's so weird.
Marie, my F-150.
So, I don't know. I've heard worse. The Miati's not that bad.
It's not bad, but
No.
it's not great.
All right, what auto news do we have to chat about today?
We are going to start with Tesla.
Oh,
I know you would love to start with Tesla.
okay. Let's talk about Tesla.
We are going to talk about Tesla's price drop again.
More.
Yes, because they did drop prices a while ago, but now they drop them. Like extra drop them.
What do we got?
Well, things are now cheap in relative terms.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you know they did a short-range version of a Model S and Model X? Did you know that was even a thing?
They maneuver and adjust these things almost monthly at this point.
I didn't know they did a short-range version.
Yeah.
So, those are gone now because who the hell wants to buy a short-range version of them?
I don't know.
But yeah, so your Model S, your Model X, pretty much everything is dropping in price. You can now get a Model S starting at $76,000. Used to be almost 80 grand.
Oh.
And then the Model X now starts at 81 and change, which used to be 89 and change. And the SUV, the Model X, is now eligible for that $7,500 EV tax credit.
That's what they were aiming for. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tesla does this. This is not the first time they've adjusted prices to hit an EV tax credit number specified by the government. They've done this in the past with the Model 3 and I think the Y as well. Now, it doesn't look like here there's any adjustments to those two vehicles, right? These are only the higher end ones.
From my understanding, yeah.
Okay. I did a little bit of digging on Reddit and I found this, which is a chart
Holy
of
shit.
the price of a Model S over time, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Uh-huh. You'll see that it does do a lot of maneuvering up and
It goes
down.
a bit up, a bit down, a bit up, a bit down, a bit up, a bit down.
It definitely does, yes.
That is not a very linear looking graph.
No. And if we go look at, for example, the Model X chart, it kind of does the same thing.
Yes.
The Model 3 chart also maneuvers all around
Does
and about.
Bit of the same thing.
And the Model Y is very similar.
Yes.
You'll notice the Model 3 and Y are basically relatively the same because there's a bump around, what is this? What time frame is this? January of 22.
March-ish.
Yeah. I think all of them do. So they all kind of climb in 22 and then fell down in 23. That's kind of just, I think, I don't know, was that a supply chain thing or an EV tax credit thing? I'm not exactly sure.
Maybe.
But there's definitely people out there that are keeping track of all this, and you'll see that like certain lines will start and others will end, and that's where they maneuver that really low price model in for like 3 months and then take it back out because it didn't sell well and they want to streamline the assembly line and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool.
It is.
And I do like that people keep these around. This is, I think, just a Reddit community that does this. It's pretty simple to do. But there's another little bit of Tesla news that we should talk about, which is...
Before we move on to the new news of Tesla, I do want to make a quick note. That now means the Model S Plaid is like under $100,000.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The Plaid?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which means, is that now... I'm going to be careful with what I say here. Is that absolutely by far and away the most performance for money you can buy now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, before it was kind of comparable, but now it's absolutely the most amount of speed or quickness that you can buy for money.
So what, they dropped like $20,000 on it or something?
Well,
like that.
over time, it's gone a whole lot more. It was at one point almost 150, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah.
And now it's just under $100,000. I mean,
the only thing that could be comparable in my mind would be Corvette territory, but that's I don't think the performance is there.
It's close, but not quite.
And it's not a 4-door sedan with 5 seats and like...
Yeah, I mean, I hate electric vehicles, and I'm not a big Tesla fan, but even I can admit that if you're looking for something under $100,000, that is arguably the fastest thing that you're going to be able to buy for under $100,000.
It is. It certainly is. As far as performance to dollar ratio, I think it's going to blow everything away by a big margin right now. We'll see if it keeps up like that, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting, though. They are turning the screws very slowly on the rest of the auto industry. They're just like cranking them down, saying, we're taking your profits. We're going to eat into your margin. We're going to have a lot of vehicles on the road. And me and you, if we're on the road for more than 3 minutes now, you're seeing a Tesla.
A lot of them.
A ton of them. And there's a new Tesla service center going up real soon around here. Like, they're doing it. They're doing it.
Interesting. Sorry. So not to derail you there.
Yes, that there is a refresh coming for Tesla, which is
heard of this.
Very interesting, and something that they usually don't tend to do. You don't hear about the 2023 Model Y coming out.
Yeah.
You don't hear about the 2021 Tesla Model X.
It's pretty much just an X or a 3 end.
X, 3Y. Yep.
Sexy.
Right, sexy. And they don't make these big refreshes very often. Now, this is what they're calling the Tesla Model 3 Highland. It has a front fascia that has been adjusted.
It does look slightly different.
It does look slightly different, but it's not a lot different from what I can tell. And I think that there's some engineering gibbons here and there, but not a lot. I know that they've done... At one point, they took away the radar, right? So they had the radar in the cars initially, then they took it away, and they started producing a bunch of cars without the radar, and now they're bringing it back in this. So apparently this now has the new radar. It's got some new like hardware as far as computer electronics go, and like CPUs and graphics processing units and that kind of stuff. But from what I can really tell, there's not a ton different other than the exterior fascia, and like that's about it. I don't know if this is just the community wanted a new look, or if this is trying to streamline the assembly line. I can't tell. What would be real interesting is if this face made it to the Model Y, because then they could reuse the components, similar to what Rivian does, right?
Yeah.
You look at the R1T and R1S, if you look at them both head on, they're the same thing. You cannot tell the difference.
Yeah, you're right.
So if Tesla's going down that path, that would be a good idea as far as manufacturing goes. We'll see if they end up doing it. I haven't yet heard if there are any price cuts coming to the Model 3 from this. I have heard that it is cheaper to produce this, so their margins are getting better. Will we see that pass to the consumer? I don't know. because the Tesla stock owners are just absolutely up in a tizzy because these cars are so cheap now and they're not making profits. But, they're turning the screws to all the rest of the manufacturers, and this is one way to do it.
Sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting what the new Model 3 is going to look like, and it's interesting how cheap you can buy one now. Not that it's quote-unquote cheap, but cheaper.
Last final bit of Tesla news, the Cybertruck.
I have heard that is starting officially to be a thing.
There is not quite a date yet, but there is going to be an event that apparently, if you have like referral credits, if I refer you to buy a Tesla, because I already have one, I don't actually have one, but if I were to, you'll get credits, and apparently on their little app, you can now, if you use your 30,000 credits, which I think is 30 grand worth of referrals or something. I don't know. It's like 3 cars worth of referrals, I think. You could end up going to the Cybertruck delivery event that will be in Texas. Date not specified, but they said Q3 of this year. Soon.
Do they know we're almost out of Q3?
Soon. So I expect
Q4 is starting like right around the corner.
Yeah, I expect like this month or maybe early next month we're going to have a delivery event for Cybertrucks. How soon do you think we see one around us? This year?
Within probably 6 months.
This year?
Yeah. Oh, no, not this year.
No?
I think January or February of next year.
To my understanding, at this little event that they're doing, they're going to give Cybertrucks to like Tesla employees and like people that can review them. I don't know. But this won't be a full mass market unveil yet. Yeah. They'll roll those out to everyone that actually has pre-orders over a time period. But that's normal for the auto industry. So
yeah, it'll be weird to see them.
It will be odd. I don't know. Apparently they have presence, but they're not massive from what I've heard. Yeah.
So they're not as big as the Hummer?
No, not near the presence that a Hummer has.
Because that thing is huge.
No, it's not the EV Hummer.
It's massive.
I think that's all the Tesla news I have. What do we have next, my friend?
We have an Alfa Romeo.
Oh.
Yes, so Alfa is coming out with a new Halo car, or a flagship car, if you will.
Ooh.
It's called the 33 Stradale.
Stradale is a Ferrari thing.
But no, it's an Italian thing.
Yeah, it's an Italian thing. That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very pretty car.
I see a rolling sculpture.
It's a very pretty car.
In the title here.
It's very pretty. So, it's limited. It's very limited to 33 of them. Yes. And you can see in the name, 33 Stradale, so you can kind of see where that goes, right? So it's apparently the 33 Stradale brings its name and kind of its shape and all that from apparently the original Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale from the late 1960s.
Okay.
So this is harking back to some heritage here. So just like Alfa's last Halo car, which was the Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione.
Yes.
Which, pause time for just a second. We have one around town? We see it like every single Cars and Coffee?
Yes.
And people walk by it without knowing what it is. And they just kind of go, oh, it's a red sports car.
It's a red Alfa Romeo.
Meanwhile, if you know, you walk by and your jaw hits the floor because it's Alfa's old flagship car. But yeah, so the 8C pulled a lot of its parts from Maserati's parts bin. This is doing a lot of the same. So a lot of this is sharing some of the guts from the Maserati MC20.
Another car that we do see around here, but is rare.
Which is pretty, but is very also rare.
Yes.
That does include chassis stuff. You get the same wheelbase, but you both get the same 3-liter V6, which is technically a Nettuno, is what they call it. But
Nettuno?
Yeah, it's a 3-liter twin-turbo V6. And in this car, you're going to get, you can get, 620 horsepower with an 8-speed double clutch.
That's a good amount of power for this car. That's fast.
Now, here's where it's really weird. You could option this with that V6 or with an electric with a battery. Yeah, it's weird.
What?
Why are they giving you a choice of this?
They're making 33 of them, and they're giving you an option to hybrid it or not.
Not hybrid it, EV it.
Oh, full EV?
Yes.
Oh, wait, what? That's even more weird.
I know.
Usually,
why are they doing this?
That makes no sense as far as
Engineering
and manufacturing. No, none at all.
Zero.
But it is 33 of them, so they're essentially hand built at this point. Whoa.
Yeah, so apparently, and they've been pretty mum on all the specifics of the battery powertrain, the electric powertrain, but apparently they're claiming that the electric powertrain is going to make 750 horsepower or more than that.
750.
So you're going to get more power out of the EV, but you won't get petrol and noises with it.
Oh, boy. What would you rather?
Oh, really? Does a bear shit in the woods?
I have to ask the question.
Of course I'm going to rather the gas 3-liter V6.
Okay.
So, to continue, though, because here's where it still gets even funnier, because Alfa has said that the battery-powered version is expected to weigh an extra half ton.
1,000 pounds.
Jesus.
All right. 100 horsepower for 1,000 pounds. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I know.
It's not at all worth it.
Apparently, the gas model is just under 3,300 pounds. So that puts us almost 4,300 pounds.
Your power to weight ratio goes bonkers. That's bad.
Jesus Christ.
It might get off the line faster.
And that's what they're claiming, is that you'll have a quicker 0 to 60.
That's it. At that point, you'll be done.
Oh, 100%.
The gas car will beat you 60 up to whatever this will go. They probably don't even have numbers.
Why are they doing this?
The real question is, why would you give people an option?
That's what I'm saying. Why?
I don't know.
Just make an electric car or make the V6. Don't say, well, why don't you choose? To me, it's kind of like, let me paint a picture. You're married, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gone out to dinner?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a conversation about where you go out to dinner?
Yeah.
And many times in the life of a married human, you have the conversation that goes, I don't care, you pick.
Right.
Okay, well, I don't care. I mean, what do you want? I don't know. Well, what do you want? Okay, well, I want burgers. Well, I don't know. Do I want burgers? No, I kind of... No, okay, well, you pick. Well, I don't want to pick, so you pick. Just freaking tell us what you have.
Just make a decision.
Jesus Christ. Alfa Romeo, don't make us do this. I don't know. What do you want? No. Just sell us the V6 or sell us the EV. Don't make us decide.
It's okay to make a decide on something that's relatively small. Like, what paint do you want? What color trim do you want in the interior? Sure, whatever. Those are like customizable, simple things. But
that's what you want to drink when you're at dinner.
Like the chassis of the car is going to have different mounting points for a battery than a transmission in an internal combustion engine. They're completely different engineering perspectives.
Yes.
This is like ground up difference for a car.
Correct.
But they just let you choose.
I don't like that.
Really weird.
It also reminds me of the old adage, if you chase two chickens, you catch none.
Yeah. Right?
Just be really damn good at one thing.
That is weird. That is very weird.
Now, there's no official price, but it's estimated at a little over $1.5 million.
There's 33 of them. The price is irrelevant.
It's going to be rare. It's going to be expensive. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be very silly if people actually buy it with an EV.
Right. So the next question always is, with these kinds of cars, will this be an investment in the future or will this degrade in the future? And I honestly think it depends a lot on the decision you make for the powertrain.
That's exactly where I was going to go with that.
Yeah.
I think if you get the 3-liter twin-turbo Nettuno V6, you'll appreciate it. Mm-hmm. If you get the EV, what's differentiating this from any of the other EV supercars?
Yes, I agree with that. Unless Alfa does amazing EVs in the future.
I don't think they will. It's
I
Alfa.
don't think so either.
You remember, we are talking about Alfa.
I know.
Right.
I know. But you have to caveat that because nobody thought Tesla would be where they were, and now they're there. So I know it's different.
I was like, yes, you have to caveat it, but again, it's an Alfa Romeo.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities. It's unlikely.
Highly improbable.
It's very unlikely. I would agree with you, though. The internal combustion engine, do you think anyone's going to buy it with the full EV package?
That was my question. No. No. Why? Because you can get more power, but you can also get exponentially more weight, and it's going to sound horrible. And why do you buy a car like this to not have a good sound?
So then is this the sales team trying to figure... Well, there's only 33 of them. Like, you don't have to sell them. They will sell themselves.
Thank you.
I don't know. This doesn't make any sense.
It's very confusing.
Yeah, my thought process was maybe the sales team couldn't sell them, but there's 33 of them. So clearly there's going to be the demand. That's not going to be a problem. It's an Alfa Romeo. A lot of people like Alfas. They're weird. They're kind of janky, but a lot of people like them, and they have some cool heritage to them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. And if they never do end up making any EV versions of this, I'm sure one person will want to have one. Because, okay, yeah, here's a good question for you. If one does the one of one appreciate?
Maybe because it's technically a one of one.
It does. I think it does a lot.
Because it is technically a one of one.
Yeah.
But if more than one person buys it, then no.
Yep. I agree.
I think if one person buys the EV, that one will appreciate. But as soon as you start adding more EVs to it, I think it'll start to appreciate less and less and less.
I'd hate to be on the engineering team. I just pray that they would all buy the internal combustion ones so you don't even have to engineer the solution for the battery.
Yes, because at the end of the day, it's a Maserati MC20 underneath.
Right.
So,
and then you're trying to stick... Yeah. Yeah. Weird.
So that'll go well.
What a weird vehicle.
It is. So let's talk next about a vehicle that is very similar. It is based on the vehicle that the Alfa was based on.
Maserati?
Yeah, the Maserati MC20.
Okay.
So there's a very special version of the MC20 that's come out. Mm-hmm.
What's that?
It's called the MCXtrema.
MCXtrema.
Or Extrema, depending on how you pronounce it.
Okay.
So, it's an MC20.
Is this a... Oh, boy.
Track only.
Oh, really? It's
yes.
track only.
So it's like your Ferrari FXX. It's like
boy.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
Or the GT2 RS Club Sport.
This will be interesting then.
It will be interesting.
Okay.
This competes with the likes of like the Pagani Huayra R, the Lamborghini Ascensivinza, whatever it's called, and all of the other track-only hot versions.
Let me ask this. Is this done by Maserati, or is this a third party?
That's a Maserati job.
Oh, so this is not the crazy body kit put onto the Ferrari 488.
Yeah.
This is a full-on manufacturer-based race car.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, it won't be spec for actual racing.
Okay.
Because if you think about the Ferrari FXX, that isn't actually regulated to any specifications.
It's just a bonkers car that people can buy from Ferrari.
That's this of Maserati.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with any GT3 standards, GT2 standards, GT4 standards. It's got no LMDH. It's got no LMP2, ABCD, SCCA, GTO, anything.
Insert racing acronyms here.
Correct. So you can see where I was going with that.
Yes.
But it's quite exciting looking.
It is. There's a lot of floor aero going on. There's a massive wing on this thing. Mm-hmm. It's honestly just all aerodynamics from the outside. Mm-hmm. It looks pretty striking, actually.
It's bonkers to look at.
Yeah.
So you've got the aero with a little bit of the, your sponsorship board, your billboard.
Jeez.
Right? Roof scoops and all this.
It looks like they properly engineered this thing.
Yeah. It's so you can think of it very simply. It's a track-only version of the MC20, which is kind of what the Alfa 33 was built off of. But this thing it's pretty wild. There's only 62 of them to be built, so it's quite rare. You get that same 3-liter V6, but that's cranked up to 730 horsepower. It's
a lot.
You get the same amount of torque, 538 pound-feet. you get the reason you get more power is because of updated turbochargers and all sorts of innards.
So no more torque, but more horsepower.
Correct. Yep.
That's kind of odd.
Now, this does come with all of your standard race car trimmings, which include an FIA spec cage.
Wow.
It looks the business.
It does.
So, here's my question. You get this, or you get the Aston Martin Valkyrie, or you get the Pagani Huayra R, or you get the Porsche GT2 RS Club Sport, or you get that Lamborghini Essenza. You get any of the track-only versions. Which one do you pick?
I don't honestly know why you would get this over any of them. It doesn't look... I don't see any big red flags to this. I will say that. But I don't think it's going to have the racing pedigree that like a Ferrari FXX would, right?
I know which one I would pick.
What?
The Pagani Huayra R.
That's one of the crazy bonkers, yes.
Just like
options.
this, right?
Right.
Have you heard it?
Yeah, it's really high-pitched, crazy sound.
Jesus.
This Maserati will sound good. It won't be Huayra R.
It won't sound good. No. It's a V6, dude.
Yeah, it's a
so
turbo
it's gonna
V6.
It's gonna sound like the Ford GT.
Right. Some
Which-
people like the sound of it. The fart machine.
Thank you. Precisely. It'll make a lot of noise. But will it be good noise? That's the next
I
question.
don't even know if it'll make a lot of noise. It'll make some noise.
You're right, because with those turbochargers, you're going to muffle things quite a
Right.
bit.
This is an odd one.
It
Now,
is.
is this Maserati trying to go toward a GT3 GTP?
No.
Why? Why do you think so?
Because I really just don't think so. I know they were talking about doing an actual GT2 version of the MC20 to actually race in things that you can actually race it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really don't see Maserati taking any steps toward a proper race program.
I wouldn't have asked the question until this car, right?
Even with this car, I still don't see it.
FIA roll cage?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean shit.
No,
That means, to me, that means they were just trying to piece things together.
I don't know. Because there's certain aspects of this car. Sure, the wings, sure, the aero, they're kind of wild. They probably wouldn't work in a spec racing series unless it was all this car. But if they're only making 60 of them, you're not doing that. But there's like toe loops in the front of the car.
Well, every one of those track spec cars have that.
I know. But we're just inching closer and closer. I think I agree with you. I don't think that this is full that way, but it's a step in the right direction.
I still don't see them doing anything. I hate to say it. I don't see it. I see this just being as them thinking, what can we do to the MC20 to make this different and then sell it for a hell of a lot of money?
Maserati used to be in racing at some point.
They did, yes.
Yeah.
They had a good pedigree at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And then they drifted away and sold their cars only to fake ballers.
Mm-hmm. This is not fake baller. I'll say that.
No, this is really baller because rough estimated the price is over $1.9 million.
Oh, it's a $2 million. Well,
It's
okay.
a $2 million car.
What's an FXX?
Same idea.
Yeah, just bonkers. The Pagani is
More than that.
more. The price doesn't really matter here.
Yeah, price is relevant. But I don't know. I really don't think they'll do any actual racing.
I don't think so either.
Now, hold on a second, because we could have had that conversation about Lamborghini, but they're going into LMDH or GTP.
Yeah, and we didn't see that coming.
Maybe they do.
Is this the step toward that, though? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think this is more toward GT3 spec, but
I think this is just like an engineer's wet dream.
I think you're right.
I think Maserati just told the engineers, like, it's a 3-day weekend. You guys stay here. I'll give you as much coffee and donuts as you want.
Go build a race
Just
car.
build something exciting.
Maybe.
And they went, look at the new MCXtrema. I think that's what happened.
Okay. I'd love to see it in GT3, though. That'd be awesome.
It would be cool.
It kind of, from this photo specifically, kind of reminds me of the Ford GT shape on the rear.
It looks damn similar to the Ford GT shape. Not just the rear, in my opinion, but the whole car.
Yeah.
I get Ford GT vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
Which is okay. It's a cool car.
It is a cool car.
Yep.
So that's the Maserati MCXtrema, Crema, whatever.
Odd one.
Yeah. So it's all the news I got. You got anything?
I do not.
In that case, that's going to wrap us up for episode 263. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up on the video, and drop a comment. Let us know, what do you think about the Tesla price drops and the new updated Model 3? I'll be curious to know your thoughts there. And if you're listening on audio only, send us those thoughts via social. Facebook is We Are Auto, Instagram is We Are Auto _, YouTube is We Are Auto, and our website is weareauto.io. So, thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.